my Robotics ISU on how computer programming is used in washing machines.
Computer programming is used in washing machines because it keeps track of the timing needed for each cycle and the actions needed to perform for each cycle. For example, during the wash cycle, the program will know when to put the water into the drum and when to flush it out. The program used is also based on the human settings punched in on the dashboard. Some of these settings are to use hot or cold water, or whether the load is heavy, light, or normal. There are three different cycles programmed into a washing machine. The wash cycle includes filling the machine with hot or cold water, adding the detergent, spinning the drum, and then draining the water when finished. The second cycle is the rinse cycle, which includes adding more water to the drum, then spinning the drum so the detergent can be rinsed off the clothes. The spin cycle is the final cycle, which involves spinning the drum to get rid of excess water and allows some of the clothes to dry.
The first cycle is the wash cycle, which is the cycle in which the clothes are cleaned with the detergent. Firstly, the drum is filled with about 26 liters of cold water. Based on the settings inserted, the program will heat up the cold water by turning on the heating element located inside the machine. The temperature is determined by a thermostat, which is placed right where the water enters. When filled to the right temperature, the heating element is turned off. After, the code will dispense the detergent and rotate the drum, allowing all of the clothes to be soaked. Lastly, the cycle is ran for a certain time, so when the drum stops rotating, the soapy water is then released and the next cycle will begin. The second cycle is the rinse cycle, in which the soapy clothes are bathed in water. The cycle begins with another insert of 13 liters of cold water. The code will now rotate the drum back and forth, allowing the water to rinse off all the clothes. The timer will again control when the cycle starts and ends. When the drum stops, the water is released and the cycle is repeated once again. The spin cycle is the last cycle, in which the clothes are dried and some of the excess water is removed. The program will start with the code and spin the drum at a rate of 130 kilometers. This will allow the water to pass through the tiny holes of the inner drum into the outer drum, where the water is then released. On the picture located on the slide, we can see the manufacturing of the drums of a washing machine. Software engineer is a job that relates to the washing machine because they are the people who research, design, maintain, and continue to evaluate applications and machines used in everyday life. For example, the washing machine requires an immense amount of programming to do the simple task of washing your clothes. The parts of a washing machine that software engineers perform are the programming of the machine. This includes the timing of each cycle, the inserting and releasing of water into the drum, the heating of the water, and the speed of the rotation of the drum. They are also responsible for building and maintenance of the machine and the design. If these tasks are not performed well or at all, the simple task of washing our clothes becomes much more complicated. Software engineers build technology that makes the life of humans simpler and easier to enjoy. The job may seem great, however, work will be needed to become a software engineer. The work starts from when you are in secondary school. During secondary school, you will need to take the right courses to help you into a good university, which can help you land the job of becoming a software engineer. You then will be able to create new machines that can make the lives of humans even easier. Firstly, you should take these courses to be able to get into the program you want in university. Advanced functions, calculus and vectors, chemistry, physics, and English. You must also have a 70 percentile or higher in all of these courses to increase your chances of getting into the university you like. Universities nowadays look at not just your performance in school, but also your performance in extracurricular activities as well as taking and obtaining good marks in the courses shown on the previous slide. Universities want students who want to become software engineers to take a grade 11 or 12 computer programming course and compete and perform well in a programming contest. These tasks will show universities how well you can do at the next level of competition. It can also separate you from the average student who may not do these tasks. Now that you've gotten to a university that you like, and you are taking the right courses needed to become a software engineer, you will need to get these degrees in university to officially become a software engineer. You will need a bachelor's degree in computer science, software engineering, or a program that revolves around computer science. You will need to take an exam to get your provincial or territorial license for professional engineers, which will allow you to approve drawings and reports. Lastly, before you are allowed to get paid or work by yourself, you will need to obtain 3 to 4 years of engineering experience, which has to be supervised. To obtain these 3 to 4 years of supervised experience, you will need to find internships that are low paying or with no pay at all to allow you to become an engineer. An example of one of these internships is a job offered at Whirlpool Corporation, who is a major leader of environmental friendly washing machines. The internship lasts 6 months and will allow you to work at one of Whirlpool's many research centers around the world. This opportunity will allow you to see into the future of what your life may look like. You will also get to work with trained professionals at your craft, obtain 6 of the 3 to 4 years of supervised work needed, and get to look at some of the new project Whirlpool is starting. The Professional Engineers of Ontario, or PEO, is a license given to engineers who have fulfilled all of their criteria to become one. This document allows you to sign off on drawings, plans, blueprints, and code used to build machines and for them to perform their jobs. To obtain this license, you will have to take the Professional Practice Exam run by the PEO. This license protects the citizens of Ontario by making sure that there are no unlicensed engineers signing building permits and plans that may harm the citizens in any way. The license also protects the engineers because if they were ever to be abused by their companies with low pay or poor working conditions, the PEO can step in and take their building or manufacturing license away from the company. Thank you for watching, Mr. Toffley. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.